Hello there, my name is Lamin Jai, and this is News Review. Coming up on the show today, Gambia Football Federation held a press conference today to explain the saga involving Gabon and their players who arrived in the country very late on Sunday to play the Gambia in the Africa Cup of Nations 2022 qualifier. The next day, that was last Monday, this whole saga, what happened? The Gabon players came to the airport, spent hours there, pick over some health protocols. Really, we will bring you that, but also the Bissau Guinean national who died in April while under detention at the Drug Law Enforcement Agency's detention facility in Bijilo committed suicide. This is according to an investigation by a coroner in the matter there. Gambia Action Party chief, that's the leader of the party, Musa Usainu Yali Bachili, will speak to me today about the role Gambia Action Party played in NPP's national Nyamina West by-election. These are more coming up, but then we will first look at what the papers are saying. Today we don't have the Standard, but we have Foroyaa newspaper and also the Point. We'll start with Foroyaa and see what they are saying. Sit-down strike in Gambia's judiciary affects administration of justice. Majak boss hints Gambia risk sliding back to Jammeh's rule if brother and sister face criminal prosecution for hiding cannabis in a washing machine. Major Abdul Karim Jah blames ex-president Jammeh for dividing the army. Banyaka Alcalo denies allegations of misconduct. Orders. On the Foroyaa newspaper today, the ongoing sit-down strike by judicial workers in the Gambia has affected the administration of justice. On Wednesday, 18th November 2020, employees of the judiciary began an indefinite sit-down strike in protest for their administration's failure to meet their demands. Majak boss hints Gambia risk sliding back to Jammeh's rule if. Sang Mendi, the managing director of Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, that's Majak, has hinted that the Gambia risk sliding back to the regime of former President Jammeh if the media and civil society organizations are not strengthened in the newfound democracy. Banyaka Alcalo denies allegations of misconduct. Orders. Lamin I Kamara, the Alcalo of Banyaka village, has denied all allegations leveled against him by 9 residents of the community in a petition addressed to the Minister of Lands and Regional Government. 9 residents of his village wrote a petition against him to the Minister of Local Government asking for his removal. Kamara became the Alcalo of the village on the 23rd February 2015 and has been recently accused of misconduct and poor leadership qualities, among others, by the petitioners. Alcalo Lamin Kamara said the petition or the petitioners are aggrieved persons who are bent on settling scores with him. Yes, so according to the Foroyaa also reporting a brother and sister face criminal prosecution for hiding cannabis in a washing machine. 2 Nigerian nationals who were recently arrested for allegedly hiding 4 bundles of suspected cannabis inside a washing machine are facing drug-related charges, a regional commissioner of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency told Foroyaa on Wednesday. Let's see what Point is saying now. Major Jah testifies. Lantombon Tamba ordered his mild to detention. Gambians urge PIRA to stop censorship, regulate GSM operators. GDC denies cross carpet of over 500 supporters. Misuse and abuse of antimicrobials put all of us at risk, warns WHO rep. So let's see what the papers are saying in detail. Major Abdul Karim Jah of the Gambia Armed Forces yesterday testified before the TRRC and revealed that the former Deputy Chief of Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, Lang Tombon Tamba, ordered his arrest and subsequent detention at Mile 2 prison. Born in Kololi and joined the army in 1983, Major Jah explained that on the 22nd of March 2016, about 3 a.m., that's 3 in the morning, he was sleeping when his daughter informed him about soldiers who had jumped into his compound. He said the soldiers were disciplined and he was informed that they were sent by Lantombon Tamba to arrest him, saying he went with them and he surrendered his pistol to them as demand. Well, Major Jah was one of the soldiers who was arrested back in March 2016 over the Ndur Cham foiled coup there. Gambians urge PIRA to stop censorship, regulate GSM operators. Some Gambians have expressed their utter dismay at the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, that's PIRA there, for what they say is censoring radio stations in the country after the regulatory body warned radio stations against the usage of foul language. Let's also see if there are some more GDC. So let's see what GDC story is all about. GDC denies cross carpet of over 5,000 or 500 supporters. The Gambia Democratic Congress Youth President MC Cham Jr. has strongly denied reports suggesting that his party's constituency chairman in Lower Salum and 500 other supporters defected to the National People's Party, arguing that such claims are totally false and baseless. Yes, that will be that for the newspapers. We'll take a short break and we'll return. Very well. Gambia Football Federation today held a press conference to explain the saga involving Gabon and their players who arrived on Monday. They arrived actually very late on Sunday, towards Monday actually, to play the Gambia in the Africa Cup of Nations 2022 qualifier. Gabon players arrived in the country late on Sunday to play the Gambia, but spent hours at the airport after they refused to cooperate with health officials. Well, according to the law around coronavirus, anybody that is entering the country will have to show a certificate, a negative coronavirus certificate, 72 hours prior before you get into the country. They came, according to what we have gathered, they came and refused to show their certificates. Well, they were saying that they had it, but they refused to show it to the health officials. The health officials wanted to conduct fresh tests on them. This was a problem. That was what led to the standoff. They spent hours at the airport, and this, resonated to all over the world. Let's take a listen to what the Gambia Football Federation chief, that's their president, Kaba Bajo, told reporters today.
And as per the information we received from the health officials at the airport, when they arrived, like any other passenger, you must provide or produce to the health official a certificate to show that you are COVID-19 negative, which should not be earlier than 72 hours for any traveler, which they refused to hand over there. They understand they were just holding it, say, these are our players, and the other folder, these are for the officials. That's an insult to our sovereignty. It's an insult to our laws, because it never happened. Our first batch that arrived in Libreville were tested at the airport, and they insisted that we're going to test the whole delegation there. If they should go home and make arrangements with their public health officials to make sure that the second batch that came will be tested at the hotel, that's their own prerogative. We wish we had that opportunity from them, to give us that opportunity also to have that plan. When we got frustrated and not knowing when they will arrive, and in order to meet the deadline for the provision of the test result before the March, we know our capacity. A third world country like ours, we are not very sophisticated. We know it's going to take several hours before the samples will be tested and the results out. We don't want to be found wanting for not providing the test results of the players and officials as stipulated before the March, as stipulated by the regulation. Hence, the decision of the public health officials to mobilize a team for a fast-track purpose to ensure that when they arrive at the airport, the specimens will be taken and the process overnight, so that the result will be available on time for the match. That's the reason. That's the main reason. When they arrive, adding insult to injury was when they refused to hand over their test results, which they claimed were negative, and that brought us suspicion. And then they said, no, if you cannot provide us with your test result, like any other passenger, then we cannot allow it go in. Then, in fact, you have to do the test. I don't want to talk for the public health, but we are all aware of the protocols. Even where you provide a test result from, where would I say, from WHO, if the health officer on the ground is not certified, he can force you to do another test, he can send you into quarantine to do this is what our law said. So it's not a question of X has passed through the airport, he was not tested, and Y also passed. That's not my business. That's entirely in the purview of the health officials. A little after 1 a.m., The ambassador, the ambassador called me and then passed, and then, was saying that we are here for several hours and the people wouldn't let us go. I said, what happened? They said about the test. I'll talk to your colleague. He passed the phone to my colleague, the president of the Governors Football Federation. He repeated the same thing. I said, okay, give me time, let me find out, because I didn't know what was happening. Let me find out, I know what's happening. Then this time I called the GS and I started consulting. I was told that they arrived, they would want to surrender their test results, and they would also want to do the test at the airport. Then before I called back, he called again. I told him, my colleague, my brother, because we are very good friends. Myself and Perry Allen, we are very good friends. If you want to compare it, we are in the same VU in CAF, I will say that, because we hang out together. He's a good friend of mine, definitely I can say that. He is a good friend of mine. I told my brother, I have found out, but I understand it's a health issue. And these are things that are beyond us. Can you comply? He said, okay, we'll do it, but this is Africa, and we will see. This is Africa, c'est l'Afrique, on va voir. Mais on va faire le test, mais on va voir. It's what he told me. I said, okay, merci. Désolé pour l'inconvénience, mais il faut le faire. Then, I thought it's close. I went back to bed. After a while, I think I called you or he called me. Yes, whoever. I didn't sleep that night. He called me and said, yes, there's still a stalemate. I said, what happened? I think I was going to tell you, these things are doing. He said, no, they are still refusing. They said they are not going to do the test. And now, Obama and others are viral on the social media, showing photos. I said, okay, that's their wish, that's what they want. They want to add and rock feather onto their popularity, maybe, with all due respect to them. So that's how it started unfolding. We talked, and then after GS called me again, I spoke to the chairman of the medical committee, who's in touch with the medical staff on the ground. The same thing were manifested, that they refuse to hand over their purportedly negative test result of COVID-19 to the health official. Which country, who dares travel any part of this world and refuse to do that? Where? I've been traveling recently during this COVID period. You don't even think about it. You're even worried whether they will even accept it, whether they will not say it's late or it's forged. Because they have the power. So then that's how it all started. And then later in the day, later in the morning, I understand, I got a call again. I think their minister came in and the ambassador to appeal to the public health officers now, let them allow the boys to go, allow them to go to the hotel in the morning, they will do the test. Fine. That's between them. But I don't know. Even if they will not test, that's not even my business. If the public health officials will grant that respect and honor to the minister in his person and ambassador, then fine. That's very well in line with protocols and good neighborliness or good bilateral relationship. We didn't have any hand in that. And they went to the hotel. And then to yet another surprise, that in the morning, when the test team mobilized to the hotel, they refused. They said no, they are not going to do the test because they had a 48 hours, a valid test result that they could use for the match and other things. So there's dishonesty in that. Why would the minister fool the public official, promised that they were going to do the test at the hotel, and in the end, then renegade on it? Why would my colleague also, with all due respect to my very good friend, Perry Allen, deceive me, assuring me that they were going to comply at the airport, only to renegade on it? If I had known that he wouldn't do it, maybe something else would have happened. And as per the information we received,
Watanbe, brought to you by Afrisa.
Be part of the amazing conversations with Gambia's greatest minds and personalities. Get ready to be entertained, inspired, and motivated on the Watanbe platform. Plus, stand a chance of winning the shopping of your life. Call or SMS 1010 for $3 is only to win cash prizes and a free shopping spree.
Join Watanbe live on GRTS and social media on Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Kailin New Watan.
Where Afrisa?
And here is my take on the Gabon saga there. What the Gabonese delegation did was absolutely wrong. What they did was they hoodwinked the public health officials into letting their players to go to the hotel, where they would accept to undergo the COVID-19 test, only for them to get to the hotel and refuse. Even to show the certificates that they purportedly said they have, they couldn't even show it to the health official. And when the government delegation went to Gabon, they accepted to undergo all the protocols, all the health protocols, to the extent that one of our players, key players actually, Suleiman Mare, according to their results, was tested positive for COVID-19. To this hour, he is holed up in a hotel in that country. I hope the CAF, that's an investigation has been launched into the matter, and I hope that they will also see this truth. Away from that, a coroner's inquest into the matter of Drug Law Enforcement Agency of the Gambia and Januario Wande Bedukande Findan, a Bissau Guinean national who died while under detention at a facility of DLEAG, that's the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, back in April, has found that he actually committed suicide. More in this report by Jacob Sisajet.
A coroner's inquest into the matter of Drug Law Enforcement Agency and Bedukande Findan has revealed the Guinea-Bissau national committed suicide while in detention at the DLEAG detention facility. In January this year, Findan was arrested at the Juboro border post with 12 pellets of suspected cocaine. He was then kept at a detention facility in Bijilo after appearing before a magistrate in Brikama. He died while under detention amid claims his death was caused by DLEAG. The principal magistrate at the Kanifi Magistrate Court, Aissatou Jaane Njie, was on April 28, 2020 appointed by the Chief Justice as the coroner to investigate Mr. Findan's death. Jaane Njie conducted the investigation alongside Demba S. Jammeh of DLEAG, Maria Odilia Almeida Silva and Paulo Sa of Guinea-Bissau Embassy, Pa Malik Nyasi of Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Moduso of the National Human Rights Commission. In a report dated September 11, Aissatou Jaane Njie conducted, from the totality of evidence adduced, there is no evidence or even the slightest suggestion that the deceased was hanged by somebody. The only reasonable conclusion that has been established beyond reasonable doubt having regards to the evidence adduced is that the deceased committed suicide by hanging himself with support from the step of the toilet door, Coroner Aissatou Jaane Njie said. During the course of her investigation, the coroner visited several places including the Major Crime Unit at Police Headquarters in Banjul, the DLEAG Sensitive Investigation Unit compound in Bijilo, where Findan killed himself, the mortuary at Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Reporting for the Fatu Network News Review, Jaka CCJT.
Tough Africa Global presents the new Tulip Gardens. Tough Tulip Gardens is set to comprise service plots in sizes ranging from 220 to 570 meters square. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only an 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. Please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333. Free. Tough Africa.
Thank you and welcome. Now I'm joined by my guest, Mr. Musa Ousainou Yali Bachili, leader of Gambia Action Party. Actually, today our interview will largely center around the role Gambia Action Party played in NPP's victory. Mr. Bachili, at some point in the run-up to the by-election there in Nyamena West, traveled to Nyamena West. And there were a lot of claims that he was there to join NPP. So he's here, my very good friend. Thank you very much, Honorable, for coming.
No, thank you. Let me start extend my profound greeting to His Excellency, President Adama Barrow and his cabinet, the IC chairman and his executive members, the Honorable Minister of Justice, and the IGP, Honorable Minister of Interior, all political leaders and the executive members, and the people who are in the hospital. I pray to Allah Azza wa Jal to give them shifa, and the one who are in prison, may Allah grant them freedom, and the Tanka people, may Allah grant them help too. I'm greeting my Gambians in Gambia and outside Gambia, and I'll greet myself, my executive members, and
Fair enough. For greeting.
I'll greet you, my brother. Well,
the first things first. Tell us, what were you doing in Nyamena? People say you went there to baptize, to join NPP. What were you doing in Nyamena West?
Well, I'm an institution. I don't join another institution. You see, the lingo join is like individual can join an institution, but an institution, GAP was born before NPP, almost 1 year. How can I just, I'm the leader, but I don't want gap.
Do you realize that people collapse their institutions to join other institutions?
I heard that. Those are the one with weak mind. Bacheli is a lion individually, but GAP is bigger than Bacheli. GAP is one of the strongest institutions in Gambia. I care less what people talk about GAP. But on the ground, on the masses, no manure. Wow.
What were you doing in Nyamina West?
Thank you very much. To strengthen the capacity of GAP. Believe it or not, Mr. Njai, you will believe, but this is your job as a journalist, a seasonal journalist. Yes. GAP has a stronghold from Khartoum to Wilibana. Any constituency will have a stronghold. Gambian can be referenced as a witness. We didn't put a candidate there. So, to my understanding, why GAP? Other political parties threw their weight. The other parties, there was no chocho. I went and spoke to my people. I called them. They said, Bacheli, you didn't put a candidate. GAP didn't put a candidate in Nyamina West. I said, yes, it did. Then I asked him, Lu Nekasiyen, as a wise man, this is your people. This is not about presidential election. This is about their constituency. The development goes to them. I'm from Kantora constituency, but I belong to Gambia. So now I asked them, which some said they are supporting MPP. Some wanted to give it to GDC. My people, these are my people. So these people, they respect me highly. I went there way before MPP was born. I spoke to my people then. They used to come here, we talk. I sell the visions to them. Now they said, okay, if my people are separated, it might affect me presidential election. Now I want them to have one voice. Yes. Under the development of Nyamina, whoever won it, whether it been a GDC, for example, that was way. And I spoke to them, I convinced the one that wanted to give. I said, okay, if the percentage wanted to vote for more than for MPP, then I told them, look, I want you guys to be one. I spoke to 4 hours. They agreed. All of them threw their way to MPP. That's what I met there. Then I said, go ahead. I cannot change the man game. But, you know, like I said, the Netutu government, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. Netutu government is the Facebook government. People just, the masses are concerned. 1%. People don't even talk about Facebook. They go there, talk, but actually join. I don't join. I will never join any political party. I will do, if there is, we do alliance. I don't belittle any political party. Being born today, even being born in next house. Yes. But look, the capacity of the people that always talk. I love criticism. If you're scared to be talked about, my brother, quit the game. This is not about business, buying banana, selling banana. This is about institution. You have to hear whatever they say. And fortunately, yes, if the other parties won and they throw their weight, what confused me, why when they were Jokado, you have APRC, you have GDC, you have UDP, you have NPP. If UDP, due respect to them, this is about political issue. We are talking, disagree to agree doesn't mean I'm disrespecting you. If UDP basically believe that they throw their weight on GDC in Nyamina West, why don't you throw their weight for them at Jokado? Yes. That's what we say concern. Me, Mr. Njai, if I throw your weight in here and you are standing in Bassi, I will still throw my weight on you. No more Kadu. Are you with me? Now, coming back to square one, join NPP, join UDP, join, that's a word, alliance. I don't join, I'm an institution. And I'm the only political party so far who never write a letter to the president that I want to join you, I want to work with. No, I said, if president call me, I'm a human, he's my leader. He's the one on the throne, we have to give him the respect. We don't, you see, people don't understand, insulting president will put you down. You don't need to insult no president. You disagree with him by using your vision and tell them, look, president, we are political managers. I want Gambians to be political manager, not political yayo. Talking rubbish on the phone, talking rubbish on Facebook, insulting the president, insulting the president's wife. This is to me uncalled for. A concerned leader and a concerned citizen, yes, you criticize constructively, yes, by telling the president, look, this country doesn't belong to you. We, the Gambian, trusted you, grab our voters card, voted for you for a change. Not but an effective change. Then why when the coalition government coalesced, some of the members of coalition, they were in prison. Let's be honest. I'm not here to criticize. I'm here to tell the truth. Even if it's your parent, tell them with respect. Okay, 7 political parties join hands with 3 independent to remove Jammeh. My former party was GDC. We contribute immensely. If it was in GDC, I'm telling you, Jammeh is still here. I have to give the credit to my former party, man. So it's not about, it's a joint venture here. GDC versus plus the coalition took this man out. Babili, I have high regards for him on the treaty. Like you always said that he's my teacher. He cannot be my teacher. He used to be my former president. The only 3 things that I love about him, say it or not, he respects the sovereignty of this country. Our sovereignty is gone. I'm urging Mr. President Barrow to bring the sovereignty again. You see, look, for me, I'm a political manager. Like I told you, it's not about being the president. We bring the governing council here. The governing council controlling the government. A government control the government. But you know the governing council, the Khomeini. You understand? We will tell the president. We will listen to the masses. Kylan, you walk down with us. Talk to us. My brother, I don't even like to speak English. I'm not talking to the international. I'm talking to my Gambians. You understand? Then, if we have a proper team that surround the government, this government, I told you, President Barrow, do respect your government. It's not a coalition government. It's the most corrupted government.
It's a corrupt government.
Yes, indeed. But it's not MPP government. This is not an MPP government day. Yet, if Allah blessing he win, when he win next, if Allah knows he's going to win, if he win next election, then it's MPP government. Until now, it's coalition government. It's them coalition members betrayed the cause. They start elbowing. That's why I said they sent President Barrow. He even said, "How much I see heavily? I want Gambians to come and join hands. We develop." He gave positions to political leaders, political parties. Our concern is help him. Then when election time comes, we separate. But they don't know. Everybody start putting their Chinese ping pong. You understand? They send the Chinese net on him.
What do you talk about? What do you say on Chinese ping pong? What does that mean?
What that means, everybody start fighting for themselves. You understand? They don't care about the country, man. That's why I said, President Barrow, when I talk, people might think that I'm working for him. Are you with me? This is
or even looking for a job. I've seen
people. Actually, is big, man. But when I say big, I have eaten. My belly is full. But I'm hungry for the masses. If my soul, Mr. Njai, if Allah the Creator, let all the leaders in Gambia, the ulamas, most educated in Islam, most educated in Christianity, if I have the vow that Allah take my soul for the betterment of this country, the way I want it.
Well, you have said,
many times.
that you are ready to die.
I will never, even President Barrow called me for position. I said, "Sir, I don't need position. Let's join hands. Let me give my political management skills. And if you follow it, Mr. President, you will never lose, man."
Let me take you a little back to the Nyamina West event.
Yes, sir.
You went there and you spoke with your supporters, your people, and then you asked them to vote for NPP. Well, you asked them who they preferred. Some said NPP, some said GDC.
Yeah.
But how did you arrive at that? The idea or the issue of asking your supporters to vote for NPP. What was so special, in your view, what was so special in NPP, a new party that has not yet even been inaugurated yet?
My brother, no parties, there's no party, man. To me, I don't believe in no. You register your party. Just maybe you're not long time in the system.
But what was special about NPP?
What really special on me?
The NPP?
The NPP. You know why? My people there, they're Nyamina citizens. They decided to give it to NPP. I have no right to change the vote. That's what we call Operation Nyayele Kabe Janjang. You listen to your people. It's not about Bajili.
Did you ask them why they chose NPP over GDC?
What some says, I like the word. Some say, promise and fear.
What do you mean by that?
Promise. You're a man.
What do you mean by that? We need to.
I need to clarify. They say they have been promised by certain individuals or certain political parties, and they don't fulfill their promises.
Did you ask them who these individuals
Well, I'm
and
not.
political
I don't
parties
want
are?
to talk about people there. All I said, whatever you guys desire, Bachili will stand in solidarity with you. They said, Bachili, to be honest with you, we know you are a clean-hearted political leader, and GAP is here for life. I was there before NPP, and they chose it. The other one that don't, I convinced them. They became one. I even spoke to them now, before coming to you to have an interview with you. They want me to come. I'm preparing a journey with few executives to come there and talk to them. So okay, yes. Look, can you hear me? Yes. I'm coming back. When UDP tore their back on GDC, who talk? Why? UDP have no supporter there, man. Let's be honest.
Now, let's talk about...
No, they don't have no supporter there. Why are they saying they tore their back there? The main support of Nyamina is GAP and GDC. Yeah. So now the joint, we don't say it. But Bachili said, with the supporter, I'll throw my weight. And they're complaining. Are they scared? Is it a threat? I work with any political leader who loves Gambia the heart. Like I told in my interview, when I sit with the president, I have not sit with all, before forming GAP, let me tell you, Mr. Jai, before forming GAP, I have assisted the non-political parties in Gambia here. That's why I formed GAP. Action-oriented. The way we have to develop this country is not about democracy. Democracy is not us. Just vigorous, transformative changes, but what? Mass development through mass action.
Now, let's talk about your base in Nyamina, because today I want us to make sure that we stick to time, and it's not going to be a very long interview. If you go to Nyamina West, the population there is not very large.
4,500.
4,500.
You don't.
In that, what is GAP? What is GAP's?
I can even give you a phone number. I can give you phone number. You call them.
Yes.
GAP. Yes. If it's 100%, let's say 4-5 is 100%.
Yes.
GAP will stand with 65%.
So 65% is all GAP.
Yes.
But if really that was the case, why didn't you put a candidate in there? Why would you support an outside party when you have your own party to build, to strengthen?
I love that question. You know why? GAP calculate.
What do you mean by that?
Well, that's a deep one. How can I go into?
But you have to tell people. We need to know
I'm waiting
about
for the
this
presidential election, where I'll put all my
team. But does that make any sense at all?
It makes a sense.
How?
How? What you mean how? My brother, I was not ready. GAP is not ready to put their candidate. And we calculate. We don't rush. We are working with our teams all over from Khartoum to Lebanon. Like I said,
yes.
I'm waiting for the president. Can you be surprised, man? We have a lot of parliamentarians in the government, man. Seriously. Like I told you, the next government, when I talk, they think I'm just talking. I'm not talking. Now, I don't just talk because of desiring talking. I talk because I have a political statement will. The next government is GAP, or we're part of next government. And whatever we are, we'll have a huge parliamentary members. We are talking.
Now,
for me, for me, not putting my candidate or putting candidate doesn't matter. And if MPP divide that, if they divide it, let's wait for next presidential election, they will know who control GAP, who control Nyamina West, inshallah.
But also one thing that I found interesting is that with all the efforts that GAP played in Nyamina West, that was the victory celebration. There was no mention of GAP at any single point during the entire event. Nobody mentioned GAP and the role it played in backing NPP. Why is that? Why do you think that's the case?
To me, you see, I like that beautiful question. Allah created human beings. Who can pay Allah?
No one.
Okay. So and we are only grateful. Some of them are ungrateful. So me, I'm waiting. I didn't go for popularity. If they don't call and mention GAP, maybe they have reason. I won't ask. It's up to them. But time will tell. If they mention GAP, but some individual in NPP, they call me. I'll be honest. I'm not here for popularity.
But why do you think they didn't do it publicly?
Publicly, I don't understand.
Publicly. Even the losing party, GDC, went publicly to thank UDP for supporting them. You supported NPP. You have this much large, very large base in Nyamina West, 65%. you gave that to NPP and they ran away with the victory, and they couldn't even publicly summon the courage to go out there and thank you for your efforts, for your support.
Mr. Jai, I love this beautiful question. A lot of people ask me about this question. The two individuals that called me ground and said, thank you. We appreciate every bit of your effort. Gab, not Bacheli. I said, Alhamdulillah. You understand? I don't know. They know. But for me, I'm not here platform. If you thank me, fine. If they don't thank me, we'll go to election. They will know who's Bacheli. I'm waiting. For me, if they don't thank, doesn't matter. As far as the whole world knows, I went there and I threw my weight there. My main concern, the whole world knows they won. That's good for Bacheli. Whether they thank me, they don't thank me, people heard about it around the globe. That's enough.
Are you but in any way disappointed?
I mean, to be honest with you, honestly, deep heart, I don't lie. If in a world of reality, not a world of elites, suit and tie, but in a world of reality, when somebody do good thing, you have to thank them. If they don't thank you, no. If listen, if they don't thank you, you did your job. How about if they lose? That is a defamation to me. People laugh at me.
So it was your life that you put at stake.
But I'm sure that they're gonna win. I don't care whether MPP calculated or spent millions of dollars. So called. I have not spent millions of dollars in Nyamina, but I have sent cholera in Nyamina. That's why they respect Bacheli. And yeah, I'm going there next or week after next. I'll give you a special car, full it and everything. You know, you sleep at Damku Nyamina East. You will see the crowd, so and you will hear.
You are going to give me a VIP
treatment for you to go with your team and to investigate it, and then you know the reality. That's the time when you come, you report. Inshallah.
Where has this? We'll get to that. Where has this left the country's political, situation? NPP, new party, heads into a by-election, mini-election, and MPP triumphs over parties. Some of them are big parties that have been around.
There's no big party.
Of course,
there's an existing long-term party. There's no big party. Somebody can even register today, tomorrow, you win the election. To me, there's no big party.
So, but what in your opinion?
There's a long-term party.
Where has this left the game in terms of politics in the?
But to me, and what in MPP? If they think that winning this is going to make them win election, they're fooling themselves.
Okay, so that's what you think.
The truth.
Okay,
the game can change. The only thing I urge the president about, even when I was there talking to some of the members, he has to change his shacks around him, within him and around him. Are you with me? Yes. I told me I don't change words. I would help the president if he put Gambia at heart. Like I said, I brought some investors here. They came last night.
Where are they from?
Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah.
What do they want to invest in?
The whole entire sector, from the agriculture side to energy to water, quality drinking water, food, everything. I brought them. They're here.
How full is their pocket?
This is not about food. How confident they are, ready to help the Gambia. Partnership. In the whole entire world is partnership. And I'll bring them to the president. I'll stop here. I will bring them to the president. They're here right now. And if the president, I'll go meet him, talk to him, that I brought part. Because the president says, whoever loves Gambia at heart, ready to put the development agenda of Gambia #1, not his agenda, but Gambian agenda, under his leadership, come. And I brought the investors. Then I will see the reality of their realities. I put those people in front of him, they talk. This is about government now. If they put it under my eyes, they come here because of God. But I'm not in the government, but it's the betterment of the country. I'll bring them to the president. They sit with the president. They put their blueprint on the table. President has some genius too. They look at it, what's good for the country and what's not good. Whatever good for the country, they're ready to pre-finance. They don't need money from the government. And the reason they came here, because of me. Some of them, some investors used to come here before meeting the president. Some of the so-called who love Gambia, they said, give me $5,000 here, $20,000. I said, no, I don't need nothing from you, man. You bring in the investors, the betterment of the country, I'll bring you straight to the president. If I'm the president, I'll look at it and approve it. If it's good for my country. Now, I'm urging the president to give me an audience immediately with my investors. We come into him. We will sit with him. If he claims, the president claims that he loves the country, at heart that he claimed, I'll support him. But I will know that now. By bringing my investors there for the betterment of the country, and all they need, if the government approve, my brother, you will see rapid changes within 90 days. Rapid changes within 90 days.
Are you even hopeful? Are you even hopeful that the president will meet you? Because Mama Kande, I know the president is very good at that. Of his opponents, political opponents, bringing investors into the country and, you know, relying on their support and advice. Because Mama Kande just a few days ago also said something like this, that he called the president to tell him that he has these investors that want to embark on some projects, the Bakote Dome site, I believe, but the president told him, well, I have a similar one, I'm not, it looked like the president wasn't interested.
Well,
so you think he will be interested in
my project that I'm going to bring, project that I'm bringing, I'm not saying the president don't have the project, but it's very rare. You don't understand that what kind of project, but this is Bachili, man. High-tech project, man.
High-tech.
High-tech. It's not like yin-yang. I don't believe in yin-yang, no.
What is it?
I'm bringing the reality. Yes. If he does not accept the project, yes, and it's good for the country, yes, I will rebel against the president.
You rebel?
I will tell him this guy don't love the country at all. What he claims, listen to what he claims that he loves the country, and we bring in goodness for the country, and he reject that. My president is not our president. He's the president for himself then.
And you will rebel.
But I believe he will, I believe with certainty, he will accept.
He will accept
if this project, when you look at the blueprint, listen to me, when he looks at the blueprint and he knows this is the betterment of the country, he will accept, man. Because Bachili, when I talk to him with my investors, we don't play no game. It's not like he's giving us money.
Yes.
One time, one of these same investors, they went to Liberia. Bachili is connected, I told you. They went to Liberia.
What's the name of their company?
No.
What's the name of their company? I want to do some research.
I will give it to you. I don't need you. Yeah, my brother, your connection, I don't publicize my connection, man. My brother, let me put my glasses down. I don't put my connection against that.
Is that confidential?
Yes.
Is that confidential? But what makes that confidential?
What I'm saying,
who are these people?
No, I don't need.
The public needs to know who are these people.
When they come, when it's been approved.
You know, there is a lot of transnational crime. There is money laundering, there is corrupt,
government,
you know, drug dealers.
The royal family of Thailand.
Oh, it's the royal family. Okay.
Brother, this is Bachili. Bachili don't involve in drugs. Bachili don't believe in racketeering. Bachili don't believe in money laundering. Bachili has seen clean money, eat clean money, understand clean money. You understand? Yes. For me to come up and talk about this, I'm a government in waiting. I want you to understand that. My country, my masses, we need our people to develop our country. We need to empower the Gambians. Look at Dahali Pacha. Alone, when we mechanize it, modern agriculture can do the export. Income is coming. The farrows, Kantora farrow, Jimara farrow, URR farrow, Khartoum farrow can feed the whole West Coast. Then that will be used domestically. This company that I'm bringing in, yes, Wi-Fi, you pay your Wi-Fi system of Fatunet, we pay $5 per month, $250. High tech. Can you beat the system here? People are paying $3,000 per Wi-Fi per month. I'm bringing, the president approved, $55, $250 per month. I want even the rural farmer in behind Garawal.
Have access to internet, yes.
Kanjambu, in Garawal, Kanjambu.
Where is Kanjambu?
Behind Garawal.
Yes.
Kebekunda,
yes.
Behind Garawal.
Yes.
They can use their Wi-Fi for $250. The masses more manure. I don't eat government money. I bring money for the government, for the masses.
You said the government is corrupt. You said earlier on,
yes,
you said the government is corrupt.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
The Barrow government. And
it's not about the coalition government.
The coalition government.
Led by Barrow.
Led by Barrow.
Yeah.
And today, or just a few days ago, the Millennium Challenge Corporation issued its report. And I mean, scored Gambia quite impressive. The Gambia fared well actually in terms of fighting corruption. You are saying that this government is a corrupt government.
The Millennium. Who are the Millennium? You tell me, then I'll answer. Who are the Millennium? Is it IMF? Mr. Jai? Is it IMF?
It's a U.S. government agency.
U.S. government, the ambassador, about a couple of weeks ago, that government is more corrupt. Are they contradicting themselves? Who's the Millennium? We don't need no Millennium information here. We need
But when you talk about corruption, what exactly are you talking about? When you say mention government is corrupt,
the resources of our resources is been misused. Misused. The funds are misused. I don't know whether I told Mr. President Barrow, if you are scared because they are threatening you to be that Nola Toklofovu, President, ignore that. I heard. I have sources inside. Threaten him. We put you in power. They don't know one put you in power there. Mr. President, I vividly said, I'm facing the whole entire world. No one put you in power. There is the Gambian masses who put you there. Then be a servant for the masses. Takal Sandiga, ignore all the criticism. Because the coalition government, they failed completely. Now, for people to trust you, Mr. President, so that you can win the NPP, Takal Sandiga damat saks yep. When you do that, call me free of charge. I will help you to do call, Mr. President. We clear the set. You understand what I'm saying? And then the Gambia will believe in you. I don't care about power, like I said to you. Could they, if anyone who's ambitious to have power, want to be power, let Gambia now choose. A leader should be chosen by the people, not by himself. Barrow was chosen by the people. Jammeh was chosen by the people. Jawara was chosen. But any ambitious leader, I want to be president, I want to be president, he is a corporate greed. Me, I don't want to be president. But if the Gambians choose me to be president, I will give them the services. I'm like I told government council, man. Overseeing the whole entire Gambia. Yes. So like I said, Mr. President Barrow, your coalition government is corrupted. And if you don't change, believe me, spend $600 billion in this election coming, you will fail. But when you change the whole route, the sharks between you, the sharks around you, believe in Allah, trust in Allah. Allah is the one who put you. If they said you are an accidental president, they are insulting Allah's word. You are not an accidental president. You are chosen president by Allah through the people of Gambia. So it's your responsibility, Mr. President, to serve the interests of Gambia. That's why I don't sweet talk you, Mr. President. I brutally tell you the truth. If you want to listen to me, you will succeed. If you don't want to listen to Bachili, even if it's Hussein Dabo who is the president, Mama Kanda, I will tell them the truth. It's not Kande Kunda will or Bachili Kunda will, but this is Gambia Kunda will. It is Gambians who should tell you the truth. Manage you. We don't need advisors. Political managers, that's what we need to tell you exactly what you're supposed to do, and you do it. The governing council coming in again. Are you with me? Mr. President Barrow, my last word to you, Mr. President Barrow. You led the coalition government. You guys fought for greed. They elbow you. Maybe you are clean, President. Allah knows. That's what you claim. If you claim you are clean, if you claim your government is not corrupted, but surrounding, call me. I will tell you the corrupted the corrupted members there with evidences. And then it's up to you as a president to deal with them. If done, but still I'm telling you, if you're not for the interest of Gambia, I will never support you. I will never ever support you, Mr. President, if you are not in the interest of Gambia. But if you are in the interest of Gambia, let all the 16 political parties, 14 join hands together. You are not President, NPP and God. We will beat them. Because you know why? We are standing for the truth and we are standing in solidarity for the masses. As can you 35 to 40,000 a day, they don't even have proper meal to sleep, to eat, rather. And then you have they know them 45,000 minimum. Then they mellow amunyo rere. Why are we begging? But I'm proud of him when he put the 86-kilometer road. They said it's funded by Gambian government. I thank God. I'm happy. That's not European money. That's not American money. It's our Gambian sweetheart money. Now we will transform on the Gambia government the tax-based economy to industrialization economy. That's why I brought these investors here. They will help. Tourism will boost it. Look at Thailand, minimum per year, they have 16 million people. Listen to me, 16 million people, tourism attract. I can transform that through my connection. Less cost, more effective. We consume $800 million worth of rice per annum. That's too much, man.
How did you, these Thailand people, how did you convince them to come to Gambia? Because a year or so back, Ahmad Ba, the tourism minister, made some comments about Thailand. And that didn't sit down very well with the Thailand government. Here you are, they are royal family. You've been able to convince them for them to come to Gambia.
Let me tell you, when Prophet Muhammad was traveling to Mecca with the power, when Allah gave him the power, The humane treatment, foreign policy started that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes disagree to agree.
Yes.
Disagree. When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has spoken, there was my major power behind him. Let's attack. He said, no. He gave them chance. You can rectify your mistakes.
Yes.
Ahmad Ba can say some rubbish. Due respect to him as a leader. Bachili can talk, they listen, and Ahmad can rectify his mistake again. Say good thing that will better for country. No one is perfect. I'm not supporting nobody, man. I don't look at people's mistakes. I will rectify your mistake to make you a better person. Honorable Ahmad Ba, he has high regard for me.
You will make a very good ambassador, you know. It would appear you are very good at convincing. If that is
like I told, remember, governing council. I'm a foreign. I travel all over. I listen, I read intensively how my Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam deal with his foreign policy. Whoever want to succeed, read the foreign policy. Your betterment relationship, bilateral, multilateral, you call it global lateral. You understand? You guys will make it. But actually, like people are talking, this man, the more people criticize me, the more you criticize, the more you elevate me. I'm not some clean. I'm a mere servant, born to make mistakes. But one thing I know, I'm not scared. The love that I have for my country, the love that I got for my country, if I'm not number one, I will be never number two. If you bring $1 for the Gambia, if I don't bring that $1, I'll bring more than $1 to show that I love this country. Coming back to square one, convincing people is the way you talk to people. Ya ayyuhan nas qulu qawlan sadidan. Talk to people. What would affect? Sadaqah. But when you look at the mistakes of somebody saying rubbish, and you look at that person with that mistake, maybe that person is better than you in the eyes of Allah. So like I said, the net to government. You can have the $100 they buy net style, but it is a criminal. But to me, I'm happy. You know what?
This net to government, what do you mean by that?
Okay. Thank you very much. It's a psychological warfare. This is a psychological warfare.
Yes.
You see, they turn victim into criminals and turn criminal into victims. Because you are not in the same agenda with them. Gambians, you know what really worries me? Gambians can say chew here, in next 2 hours they say cha. So that's the main worry. You will sacrifice everything for them.
Yes.
How wholeheartedly they turn, because they don't believe individual. They don't believe collectively, they believe individual.
Yes.
Oh, I am Masayata. Oh, no. Usenu Bachili, Useni Yali, my father, everybody knows him. Not the young general, but old general. He's one of the philanthropists. If he put Gambia secondary, I'll tell him, Father, you're my father, I respect you, but Gambia is number one. If he's even a president. I don't play with the interests of the country. Like I told Mr. President Barrow, it's high time for politics right now. If you claim that you love Gambia at heart and you believe it, but if you claim you love them, it's not your heart. Whoever among them, whoever leaders, they claim it's not that, I'll put barrier. I'll go solo and I'll win. Right?
You'll go solo.
I will go solo and I'll win. The heart belongs to Allah. Bulle help need. They help, like you told, they always help, but this. Let's go to the ground, man.
And I think really I don't have any problem with that. The people that you look look low upon are those that will always cause upset. In the case of the president, when the president was standing to be UDP's flag bearer at that convention, he stood up. I was with somebody. He stood up and spoke. When he was speaking, the person that I was with, just touched me and said, this man is not a president. He doesn't even look like one.
Allah.
And here he is, president of the Gambia. So I very much believe in that.
Okay. Can I help you? Can I help from anyone who said that to you in Jai, this is not a president?
Yes.
Now he's telling you he knows the old scene. You have to stay away from him. By what? By telling you, my brother, you don't know the old
Now I
scene.
think he was just not convinced because the way the president was speaking that day,
my brother,
and you look at his demeanor.
Allah says in the Quran
appearance,
that Kulli Allahumma Malik al-Mulk. When I choose my leader, I have to put on the forehead he's a president. Did Allah say that?
The president.
When Allah chose, who knows? You might be president. You might be interviewing the next thing. Donald Trump, look at him, a billionaire, businessman. No one ever thought he's going to be the president of the United States, and he did. Who knows tomorrow? Newsreel. You are working for one of the leading network in the Gambia. Tomorrow, under the Gambia government, you might be president, Mr. Njai.
The president, or the government, sorry, this year, they spent $7 billion is more. Last year, the money expenditure, total expenditure stood at about $15 billion. This year, the government spent $7 billion is more.
2020.
22
For 2020?
billion. Yes, 22 billion for 2020. What do you make of that?
You said $7 billion.
$7 billion is more.
$7 billion.
Yes.
Each $1 billion is $20 million.
Yes.
$140 million.
Yes.
They spend that on what? I'm asking you.
I am asking you about your opinion about that.
Okay. To consume rice in a year, Gambians spend $800 million. That's madness. That madness. Importing that madness. I can bring 1 year $166 million. $166 million through my connection. $13 million. Listen to me. $13 million a month. 500,000 bags. You know, 50,000 metric ton. That's 500,000 bags. 6 million bags per year for $166 million. Quality, 50 kilogram. And we are selling it for $900. I can bring that in here. So if they consume $800 million for rice, I don't know. That's why the only solution that I will have to be in the government to reveal the reality of it. But I'm not in the government. They block me. As government, I will invite everybody. Transparency, proper accountability, no secrecy. Political leaders, I work with them when I'm in the government. When we are in the government or part of the government,
Yes.
we have to bring transparency. This fund doesn't belong to Barrow or Barrow government and or coalition government. It's not Barrow government yet. Or coalition, it belongs to the government. They need transparency. But like I told you, when corporate thieves around you as a concerned president, they can confuse you. That's why I said, President Barrow, you don't need political advisors. Some are smiling with you. They don't like you. They are like reforming their pockets. Are you with me? Only need political managers invisible. How can a president advisor be visible, man? President political manager should be invisible. Should be invisible. And your manager should not be more than 5. And a leader, you listen. When they manage you, you know, manager, the man you actually, my blueprint. I say, Mr. Bachili, President Bachili, or President Bi, or President Jai, look at this, or President Sol, or President Barrow. This is the shopping mall that we have to build in Gambia.
Yes.
Look at the shopping mall. This is how we're going to do it. The fund is this. Then implement it. As a governing council, we look at it. We approve it, we give it to the president. If the president fails, it's the governing council that failed. Lord, nyom Iran, nyom, how you call it, nyom Turkey, nyom Nakalaturate, how you call it, Rwanda. I don't want to mention, they have the governing councils, man. So I'm telling the President Barrow, call Bachulu, we set a governing council, and you ngadaha sachakati yep. So therefore, Lolo, spend $100 billion funded by you, funded, even takes our taxpayer money, do them fend the la dur ngadam talk Japan. 14 political parties, whoever, even 20, they join hands. And you love Gambia heart, and you mean it, but you will come, we join, we blow the case. We blow them.
You'll blow them.
We will blow them. Mr. Guy, this guy, when I look at Nawek, in fact, sometimes it's sad. 55 years we don't have a proper energy system. It will
But that is President Barrow's government's failure.
It's not President Barrow. It's from Jawara.
But honestly,
coalition government. Say no, President Barrow. Coalition government. I will object.
Honorable Bachili, this is Barrow's government. What we have seen is the president ran this government as an executive president, sacked all the coalition political leaders. So you cannot call it a coalition government because it doesn't exist. By name maybe, but by practice and action, there is no such thing as coalition government.
Honorable Ahmad Ba, Honorable my party, coalition member, the vice president was an independent.
Yes.
He was among them.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
They're still there.
Yes.
Why are they babbling? When my father was not there. When I said my father, Bawuzenu, he was not there. He was not there.
At some point he came.
No, but he was not there.
He was part and parcel of it.
No, he was part as UDP,
part and parcel.
because UDP is one of UDP is one of the political parties. It's not UDP that make him coalition. It's 7 political parties, including 3 independents, joined hands together, form a coalition government. He resigned. The president resigned from his party to stand as the independent coalition president, backed by these 7 political parties with 3 independent. Are you with me, sir? Then Allah makes him, he warned. It's President Barrow who released them. If we go, they're already been sentenced for 3 years plus. Let's be honest, man. I'm telling you the truth, brutal. They sat there, he released them. You know, TRRC, I told TRRC, it's yet for my comment. But what I'm looking, I will just give you some hint. It's witch hunting now. They're witch hunting the game.
TRRC.
TRRC is about to reconcile.
Do you realize that you might be, charged for contempt?
Contempt.
If you accuse them of witch hunting.
But what I'm saying, I'm looking, I have the right to watch.
You said they are witch hunting. That is serious. That is a serious.
My brother, no one can charge Bachili. I have right to talk.
Yes.
You understand? I'm not abusing them. TRRC is for what? To reconcile. Victim.
Reconciliation is the last thing. Listen the last bit of it.
Is Barrow,
of their mandate.
Is President Barrow involved in TRRC?
President Barrow.
He was not.
But when it comes to the reconciliation part, maybe he will be.
But what I'm saying, the victims, they turn in words against him. It's uncalled for. The Smiling Coast is a Nyonkolong. They said Swallowing Coast. Why it has to be called the Swallowing Coast? Are we swallowing each other? Are we? Are we chopping each other? He released those political prisoners. It was his veto power. Let's give him credit.
The president definitely should get that.
So why they turn him? That's what I'm saying. They turn in the gameplay. My brother.
But these are individual opinions. This does not necessarily reflect the broad view or opinion of the entire government. These are individual opinions. What do you think about that?
He should not even mention the TRC. Let's talk about Jammeh. They say Jammeh. And I told the people.
But this is just a victim who appeared before the TRC and stated his opinion.
Why it has to why don't you say the goodness of Jammeh? Some of the people in TRC were funded by Jammeh to have their education. Even if it's one day, even if it's a government money under his leadership. Why they be grateful to him?
But we are not talking about the good parts here. We are talking about the bad parts. The TRRC is about the bad parts.
If Allah want to say our bad part, don't not toffee. But you need to toffee.
But this is not about God.
No, it's about God.
This is not about God. This is about man and man. What man did to man, which is bad, that is what we are talking about here.
I'm not saying Jammeh didn't do no bad. But Jammeh also did some good things. Let's appreciate that. Allah says, well,
but we are not in that business now. We are not preoccupied with the good stuff Jammeh did. When it comes to, at least when it comes to the TRRC. What the TRRC is strictly there for is to look into the human rights violations and abuses of the 22-year rule of the former president. That is where it's first number. There is no such thing as
the first number one human violation. Hunger kills more than malaria.
But we are not talking about that.
But I'm talking about that. Who brought that human violation right? Who said that game here? When they kill people in Iran and Iraq and Palestine and Yemen, so-called United Nations, so-called United, listen to me, Mr. My brother, you have to listen to me. So-called United Nations, people are dying of hunger and they got billions of dollars to rescue them. Why?
So now,
why our TRC? Look, like I said, I will bring and hint. TRC, I have no confidence in them. When they close, I have a proper statement, political statement. When I mention that, the whole world will know what I'm saying is the truth.
But do you realize that this is President Barrow's idea? One of the TRC is one of his projects.
It is the coalition government.
But everything that is ahead and the buck stops at the head. So when you form a team and say, okay, let's look for people, let's go out there and campaign. If we win, we'll do A, B, C.
Do you know what happened behind all?
At the end of the day, responsibility lies at the head.
Yes,
I know this is President Barrow's. This is President Barrow's project. You cannot try to dispense this and scatter the blame and everything to people others that are not in fact the head. The head is President Barrow. So when it comes to the TRRC, if that is any success, it should be credited to him. But if there is any failure, some of the things that you are saying now, why wouldn't you apportion them to President Barrow?
Commission is what? Whitewash.
President Barrow. Will you blame it on President Barrow?
Can I comment?
Because he formed the set of the Ghana Commission.
Can I comment?
You will agree to that, right?
No, wait. Don't put words in my mouth, Mr. Jai. Janet Commission, whitewash.
Whose fault? Whose fault?
Brother, let me come. I like you, my brother. You know I have love for you, man. Janet Commission, whitewash. CRC, whitewash. TRRC, yet to be mentioned. Do you know what happened behind us? Jammeh, Barrow didn't know the beginning. He has no clue of governance. Let's be honest. He trusted some of the, some of the coalition government, political parties. They went there, they spoke. They said Jammeh is dead. They branded Jammeh as the worst criminal ever. Look at J.J. Rollins.
Let
me come. May his soul rest in peace. I have high regard for him. But he was dying for the masses. Look at his legacy in Ghana. They're celebrating it. And J.J. Rollins did more worse than Jammeh. Worse than Jammeh.
No, J.J. Rollins, what Jammeh did, J.J. Rollins never ran a secret killing crew. What J.J. Rollins did, he executed people. People that
the United States government, the United States government, former president, the U.S. government. I'm using the highest democracy, so-called democracy. That's the religion from the United States.
But we are talking about Gambia, Ghana. You are bringing in U.S. But now, fair enough. But you said, let me take you a little bit.
This is a hit of the Can I land?
Of course.
Yeah, okay, let me land. The commission set up by who? By coalition government. When the big boys were within themselves and led it by the big man himself, it was sweet. There was no one. You understand?
Yes.
They went there, they saw, they said, let's set up these commissions.
Yes.
From Janet Commission, CRC, Human Rights, TRRC. Watch me. It was a calculated game. So now they start fighting. Indoors, you're not there. I'm not there. But I'm there.
How?
How? Thank you. When I say I'm there, I have surveillance, the eagle eye. I have my eagle eyes.
Eagle eye in there.
They come, they tell me the reality of it. I look at and calculate whatever I said. It comes past. My political statement has been blessed by Allah. They betray each other. They betrayed each other for their political gain. Now, Barrow eyes was open. That's why I tell them they send him a Chinese net, mosquito CB Saduromba. Then Allah had with some good people. They are saying it's Jammeh enablers who are surrounding him. That was why. Even President Barrow said, listen to me. He said, we don't need, one of his interview, he said, we don't need Jammeh people. We have so much people in Ghana, they can.
Yes.
Are you with me?
Yes.
So, you know, this is versus.
Yeah.
So the versus by versus, they know each other.
Yeah.
What I'm urging the President Barrow, leave whatever happened as a leader. Don't have forgive. Now, Takal Sendigabi, you are a coalition government. You are not any. Takal Sendigabi, call governance. The best young youths, they are around in Gambia who love Gambia hard. They can bring their brilliant ideas, join, and they will move this country. If you don't do it, Mr. President Barrow, and then you'll be worse than Jammeh. Instead of going to Equatorial Guinea, you are going to Tokyo. Senegal won't be helping you. A president is a president.
Why did you choose Tokyo for him?
And I'm just using, this is a political statement.
This is a political, okay.
A president is a president. There is no small president, there is no big president. Our sovereignty is gone. I'm urging President Barrow, Takal Sendiganga brings in sovereignty here. No one dictates us. What? If a president dictates you, I'm not saying whoever is dictating you, don't allow. Share ideas with them. But make sure your interest is for the government, the masses. Now, come here, Mr. Jai. I want to say something here. I'm not here to speculate. I'm here to calculate the game. Gambians, they are scared of no vision. Gambians, they don't love themselves. Yeah? Gambia, they spoil each other. They even take a Lebanese over. How many Gambian restaurants do we have? Do we support them? We don't. But actually say, let's help Operation New Mom Bopa. So Bugesa Bopa. Europe has nothing. Look at the bad way people go and dying. For what? For green pasture. We have the greenest pasture on earth. It's Africa. China, 3 China make 1 Africa. 3 European European continent make 1 Africa. 3 America make 1 Africa. Our square meter, we have all the riches. Why are we not progressing? Ourselves are enemies within ourselves. Our leaders, they are puppet for the foreigners. I say, Bachili, I work with foreign actors, but I will never be puppet for any foreign actor. I'll be puppet for my masses. If United States government, Millennium sends Europe and couple days, like Ukraine, they said we are corruption free. They are fooling themselves. Mr. President Barrow, don't take that statement. Your coalition government is corrupted. You need to change it. When I sit with you, with my investors, when they leave, I want to have one-on-one converse with you, President. I want you to leave legacy. Even if he powers in double there, I'll tell him the truth. Can they say him? Gisinga yefi hasidi yabi, then go what again is holby. Ni ki the anda ki the motoga ki dududara. Even Gambians will say, boy, Mr. Njai, oh, he blew up. Kalla, when? Instead of saying, Alhamdulillah, may Allah increase him. May I was with him, that small boy. What do you mean he's a small boy? When Allah was creating you, him or her, were you there as a witness? Gambians, let's love each other. Let's support each other. Gambians, you can even tell them a reality of true reality. You mean it from your heart. They say you are talker. And themselves cannot even do 1 inch. And we are complaining. Look at our working ethics. You go to the offices. A minister coming there by 11 o'clock. Who are you? On the Gablet government, 7:30. 8 o'clock, the doors are open, man. 8:30. Bachili, the Eagle Eye, the governing council, we're watching you. We have CCTV all over. A minister come 10 o'clock with no valid reason. 1. Second, third, you are expelled.
You are sacked.
You are sacked. There's no doubt about that. Look at the working. I'm urging Mr. President, put your eagle eyes on the working game, working ethics. Are they better than us?
Never.
Never. They are using our taxpayers' money. Why?
Let me ask you, I'll take you a little bit back. You said something and I found it really interesting.
Thank you, sir.
You said the president initially didn't know he was relying on his team. What if I tell you that ignorance of the law is no excuse? What would you say?
Okay. You see, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. But if you don't know and you make tawbah, forgiveness, repent. Allah says, number 1, don't. God, if I talk, my political movement and hygiene is different. Yeah, Allah said, don't commit zina, don't commit fornication, but you go. I'm not saying you, but you go. You understand? You're scared, you're worried, you make tawbah, you change. Barrow didn't know. He said it.
But don't you think that is a huge aberration on the part of the Gambian people and on his part? To come, this is a very serious job. President is a very serious job. If you know you didn't know, why would you waste people's time? This is a very serious work. This is president of a country, and you are telling me that initially you didn't know it was these people who were micromanaging you. The TRRC came from them. The Jana Commission came from them. Because that is what you are saying. You are saying that the Jana Commission, all these things, these people that were around him were the ones who were telling him.
Who was the foreign policy? The foreign minister?
Hussein Odabo.
Okay. Who created all this?
President Barrow.
By himself?
Of course, by himself.
What you mean by... No,
you consult his advisors, of course. But at the end of the day, the decision lies with him.
He has a cabinet.
But he's the president. At the end of the day, the decision lies with him.
But my brother,
he can consult whoever he wants, his advisors. But at the end of the day, the decision to set up or not to set up an inquiry lied with the president.
Can I come in? Sometimes you ask me a question when I want to just cut me off. I know you like hitting debate sometimes with me. You understand?
Yes.
But let's come to the reality.
Go ahead.
It's not a political elite, man. It's a political reality. You understand? Okay. If 124,000 prophets were sent by God, they don't know. They were led, guided by who? By the Jibril. Do this, do that, do this, do that. They obey and they succeed. Some of the prophets were slaughtered. Some knew, called his people. Now 150 years. Some scholars say 11 answered. Some say 80. He came, he said, I don't know. I'm ready to learn. He surrounded his team, coalition team. Kick out, individual interest, kick out. The ball now, his eyes is open. Like I said, the Chinese net. You know, when Bachelet speaks Italian, he start cutting, the eyes are open. He knows the reality of the fouls. Then I said, forgive and forget what passed. You are a coalition leader under your ticket. You have your own political party now. If you want your political party to be succeed, really show the Gambians that you have the heart for the Gambians. Revise. If you don't do that, like I tell him, simple. Now he knows. He knows who are real. And if he's going to wait till when I win next election, who guarantee him he's going to win the next election? The only guarantee is given to him, he has to do a brutal, vigorous transformation within this 60 months, 6 months, 180 days. The Gambians will see he doesn't know now, he knows, he ready, connect the whole concerned Gambians who love Gambia being a political leader with some concern, they come, change transformative. Maybe he might have a good coalition, join hands, they know he's ready to serve the interests of Gambia. I'll support him. APRC might support him. I know GDC might support him when they know he's ready with no foreign intervention, no foreign dictators, no foreign president dictating you. They will serve the interest of Gambia. Until then, I'm waiting for Mr. President to sit with him. Let me tell you the truth. Gambians, we don't love each other. We hate each other. We have this Hadia syndrome. The one who has vision, they try to brand you like you are nothing on earth. And when you brand somebody who is nothing on earth, you will see him on top of you, guaranteed and sealed. Karoon, his zakat can buy the whole entire Europe. Hasidia is in pain. Firaun, Hasidia is in pain. Abu Jahl, Tabati Yadabillah, Hasidia is in pain. If Gambians who put Hasidia, you will lose. And any leader, if you don't put the interest of Gambia at first, you're going to lose. As for now, he's the president. I will politically manage him. He listens to me, that's his betterment. He doesn't listen to me, I will stand against him. We'll go election, I'll beat him.
You will beat him. One final thing.
Okay.
The Justice Minister attended a summit where he talked about this dialogue process that they are initiating as a way of trying to build consensus around the draft constitution and bring it back to Parliament. I know you are not a big fan of, GAP is not a big fan of the draft, waste of time, resources and money, that is what you believe. But what they intend to do is to try to reach out to all the political leaders, all the different stakeholders, to talk to them about this. Okay. Is GAP at all ready to play any part or role in ensuring that this time around when the draft constitution comes, it succeeds? I
was the first political leader when they start 2019 to reject it. And the second political leader that I heard was Honorable Halifa Sallah, that we don't need the CRC. All we need to amend the 1997 constitution. Like I said, I stand. I remain stand. We remain stand. Why are they want to talk about the CRC? Foreign interest. The foreign interest. That's why I saw Mr. President Barrow, Bulnyan, don't beg. We have ideas to create our money, our economy. We agree. Foreign interest on the CRC. It's foreign interest. I'm urging Mr. President Barrow, reject it. And I'm urging all the members of Parliament, when they bring this, reject them. Bachili reject it, GAP reject it, and any concerned political party reject it.
But I mean, this thing.
My brother, why do you want to? I'm telling the foreign actors, please stay away from our internal gameplay, man. Stay away. Foreign actors, stay away from our internal issues. If they took the money from you guys, tell them how much it costs. We'll raise them and refund your money back.
money that you have eaten.
Well, we refund. We have the institution to raise the money.
Where do you have that money? Gambia is a broke country.
Gambia is the richest country. We have the resources. River Gambia.
But do you realize that if you look at our budget annually, the money that we raise would not cover 3/4 of our budget. What we do is all the time, every year, that is what is called a deficit. So I can safely say
economy.
But that's why I can safely say that this is a
Gambia government or in part of any government will transfer to industrialization, tax reformed. Like I told you, I want you to understand. Gambia government is a political tsunami. It's a political tsunami. Gambia government is a political tsunami. Because the corporate greed, the way they want to rule this country, will never favor the masses. Yeah, you know you're a journalist, man. Don't play that Mickey Mouse game. Don't play. Put Gambia interest on heart. Don't play that game.
What's that game?
Yeah, you know the reality, Mr. Guy. You know the reality,
What is
sir.
the Mickey Mouse game?
You know the reality, sir. Are you with Gambia or are you with the foreign factors? You know the reality. You know the system. I'm not saying you know the system better than me, but you know the system. Why 55 solid years? Huh? 55 solid years. I'm on the Husset. I'm on like, who are the foreign actors trying to control us? We need a civilized dictator to transform this country.
Well, we had one that didn't work. So
which one? It was not. It works. It works.
Yeah, Jammeh worked.
Well, works. Yeah.
That was in
the sovereignty.
That was a disaster.
No, the sovereignty. Even the European, they're watching our sovereignty. The security was better. Now you go to State House, you find the Senegalese there. Do you ever see a Gambian military securing Macky Sall? When I come to the security,
well, that is a failure and aberration on our part.
Because they said, you know what, it was calculated game for the foreign actors to put their mouth.
But don't you also think that we brought it upon ourselves as a country?
We never. Are we in a war? Do we need them? They can go now. Barrow has to put trust in himself. The security reform, I have expert in them. God-led government. We have experience, political management. We can give him this security reform. Concerned government saying you have the Dembuga Gambia at heart. If I put somebody's son in front of my son, my son will rebel against me. I have to love myself. Njai, gis nga Gambia tel man ko wax su olof dem bari dem buga caaxaan ñu bay caaxaan bi ñu bay ay masala si domi ñu waxante dëgga si respect si kaddu si honesty si sincerity mo gën fi ñu garuwale di sagante.
When you talk about civilized dictator, don't you think some people might be scared of putting Bachili into office? Because when you talk about a dictator, we know what a dictator president can do.
Even the United States, the US government even have a civilized dictator there. The European government, all civilized dictator.
How?
But that's why that country is going. They're moving, the institutions are moving.
But when you say they are civilized dictators, what do you mean?
They know what they're doing, man.
What are they doing?
Well, look at France, my brother. Do they have gold mine in France? And they are the largest fourth largest reserve on earth. 2.55 ton of gold reserve, 2,555,000 kilos. And Mali has
when it comes to diamond, it's amazing. When it comes to diamond and gold, you have this very vast knowledge about that.
Mali is 55 ton, and Mali has 50 mines of gold. Mali should be number one then. My man, civilized dictator. We produce 40-50% of cocoa on earth. Ivory Coast, civilized dictator. Halal selling weapon. You know, they sell weapon halal way. They sell weapon haram way. They will tell you when to buy weapons. It's all civilized gameplay. My brother, that's why I said we have to be in the game to know what's going on. I care about the West. I care about Gambia. I want Gambia to be developed. America first, then to Americans. Gambia first to the Gambians. President Barrow, put Gambia high first. If you do that, you will have the support of Gambia. If you don't do that, President Barrow, The man got spent $300 trillion. Coalition government will go. As I tell you, President, Bulna Sabopa, Sulawan Amga Garawol, Amga Sukuta, Amga Bijulo, Amga Fen, these are political statements. Go to reality. That's why I want to give you one question, President Barrow. I want you to sit alone in your room. Sit on your prayer mat. You are Muslim. Think what ways Gambians are thinking about me. Send your eagle eyes. Let them do private investigation. What Gambians really think about me. Number two, when you lose election, I'm not saying you're going to lose this. If you lose election, what will you do? Think about that. And how do you think about yourself and your surrounding? When you do that, President Barrow, you will come with a positive idea and they will transform. You will kick all of them. If you don't do that, you say, I'm waiting till I win election. Who guarantee you who win election?
That's your final word.
My final word is, let's love each other. Dama buga ñu bugante, ñu dimbalante, ñu suturante, ñu bay sagabi. Gambians su nekk diaspora, so lay amé connection for the betterment of the Gambia. President Barrow mo wax ne ku buga Gambia si xol, like he claimed, bring your investors. If the president object to your investors, we are the citizens who rebel against him in a positive way by using our voters card and kick him out. Gambians in by Defante. Let's put Gambian first. The Lebanese, they came here. They play allegiance to Hezbollah and Hamas. But they come here, they don't have nothing. They are making millions of dollars from here and they're importing the money, exporting the money to our country. Indians, they are making billions of dollars and exporting their money to India. The Mauritanians, I love them, the Africans, but they're exporting to Mauritania. Why won't we Gambians see? We have powerful Gambians who knows business. Let's put our Gambian first. We're going to do that. You buy Fenby, you then buy this net to psychological warfare, the Sagante, they buy megabytes, ni Nanadara, leadership, political leadership. I'm urging you guys, talk to your surrogates.
And also, before we go, I want to, whether you are bothered at all about that. Because just 2 days ago, I think I've seen some reports that you were in court and all of, you are talking about Gambians, to stop all these things that they are doing. But are you bothered about the fact that people are writing all over the place that Bachili is in court, Bachili this, Bachili that?
Am I the first leader to be in court in the world? Bachili is a threat. And when you are a threat, look at Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oma arsalnak illa kafatan linnas. He didn't say illa kafatal mu'minin or Muslimin or Christianity. Linnas, mankind. They are insulting him. The greatest man on earth. For me, if they want let them write court, they don't even know. They are talking. That's why I said, and you know what really sad? The Mabuga Joyce, Mankuti, the saddest part, I travel within Africa. I'm not a European. The worst psychological warfare we have is Gambia. Other countries, they use their media, social media, in a positive way. Gambia is the worst.
I know the
and then secondly, what's possible? Look at I will do the last. That's Thomas' sister Fatou Kamara.
Yes.
I say this cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying.
That's nonsense, man. The Yahante. They will ask you what you have said to this person. Going to court to me, a big man, a soldier, a servant, who is Bachili not to go to court? If you claim that you're against me, I will defend myself. And then from there we see the final judge. The only thing I'm worried about on earth, when they say Bachili slept with somebody's wife. Oh, man.
You will kill yourself.
No, okay?
You will commit suicide.
I don't commit suicide. I will resign from politics. Then I'm the useless person. Until then, whatever they want to say, let them say. The more they talk about Bachili, the more they elevate Bachili, the more the whole world. Why? How many political leaders, Mandamam Sutura political leaders, we all know. Bachili is a threat. Some of the political parties, they even write me that, let me leave Barrow. I said, do you see me going to Barrow?
But someone is writing saying, welcome to NPP, Bachili.
They
said they are welcoming you to
NPP. Every political party love Bachili. I love all political parties. I will underestimate them.
Yes.
The working players, the last political party can register tomorrow and win the election. Yeah. So you don't underestimate. Focus whoever belittle a human being or anything or any institution, you need to revisit. I don't want to say some harsh word, but you need to check yourself.
Mr. Bachele, thank you
my
very
last-
much.
My last word
Yes.
to the Gambians. Let me start saying, my sister Fatou Kamara, I Bachele personally, I text her and she replied me. I will stand with you in solidarity. No one is perfect on earth. Whatever they say, be strong and put your faith in. My advice to her, do not insult no one.
Yes.
Don't insult no one. Don't just do your job professionally. Say what's the positive for the country. And I heard that you've been engaged. Sister, I'm proud of you. It's better than the halal way. The halal way is good for you. I'm not saying you do not. Halal means marriage.
Yes.
It's halal.
Yes.
Allah loves that. I'm happy that may Allah bless the union to be. May Allah bless the union to be an everlasting union. I pray for you. And the last word to the Gambians, let's unite for the interest of Gambia. Let's now look at political individualism. To follow Bachili because you love Bachili, then don't follow me. Follow Bachili because Bachili has a vision for the country. If I deviate from that vision, leave Bachili but follow the political power, continue. No one owns Gambia. Gambia belongs to us. Whoever want to play with us, any leader who want to play with us, any political leader want to play with us for the interest of the Gambia, we will kick you out. We have our voters card, man. That's the nuclear weapon. We don't fight. I'm urging Gambia. Yeah, you have your rights. You look at Bachili, you like him, you vote for him. You look at Barrow, you like him, vote for him. Any political party ready to join hands with me, aliens, and you love Gambia at heart, may Allah make you welcome, we see. If you don't love Gambia at heart, may Allah put barrier between you and I. Because for me, God let government love God. They love Gambia at heart. And people who talk rubbish about me on any kind of form, I have forgiven them. A good leader you forgive. I have forgiven them and I'm praying for them. May Allah guide them and show the reality. And my warning, day of resurrection, Yawma Taqaboon, the day of gathering. You wish you never say bad about Bachili.
Someone is calling you Mr. President, thanking you.
President, Governing Council. I don't want that seat. It's not. I want to control the seat.
You want to control the seat, but not necessarily to sit on the seat.
If you're sitting on the seat and you're not doing the job right, it's useless. But behind the seat, while you're sitting, the job is going through. That's legacy. May Allah grant Gambian has to be united. Let's love. If Barrow meant to be the next president, let it be. If whoever is meant to be president, let it be. But what I'm warning all political leaders, do not cause problem in Gambia here. Do not insult each other. And I told them, let's have group chat, political leaders, including the president. In a month, twice, we meet, we talk about the interests of the country. And whoever want to talk bad about Gambia, Bachili, my number is +220-727-2022. Talk to me, call me, know me better. If you know me better, you change your mind, play. And I love Gambia, I love Gambians, I love Africa at large. The next government, inshallah, is God. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam. Away from that, before we end the show, officials of Sustainable Designs today held a press conference ahead of an upcoming fashion show. Matisengo reports.
Sustainable Fashion Show Gambia believe that the fashion industry has a clear opportunity to act differently, pursuing profit and growth while also creating new value and deeper worth for the society. They believe that clothing companies ought to place environmental, social and ethical improvement on management's agenda. The goal of Sustainable Fashion Gambia is to create flourishing ecosystem and communities through its activities. This may include increasing the value of local production and products and prolonging the life cycle of materials.
And during the lockdown, I was sitting here, we were only making takeaway. So I was watching a German documentary about sustainable fashion. It was about a designer actually from Togo. So when we could reopen, I was talking with Maina and Hussein about it, and I said, I mean, every year hundreds of thousands of tons of clothes are coming to the Gambia. People wear it, but we could actually create something, new material together with the old material. So by I think end of October, beginning of November, we started to say, okay, let's do that.
This initiative has been formed to improve the fashion industry of the Gambia. As we all know, Gambians don't really value the fashion industry of the Gambia, but we still do dress fashion-wise. We change clothes, we change shoes, likewise with our bags. It's all fashion. So why is it that we are not giving that value to the fashion industry of the Gambia and the creative industry at large?
In another development, they aim at educating and sensitizing people to practice environmentally friendly consumption by promoting sustainability.
It's all about bringing designers on board to design on certain things, not just to design, put on clothes and throw it away, no, to design something that would be everlasting. So when we thought of this, I think sustainable fashion basically is about recreating and redesigning things. It could be recycling, it could be used clothes to new ones, it could be upcycling, anything that has to do that will help in the environmental crisis or the pollution or anything.
With the sustainable fashion show, the name already gave me like goosebumps. Like really, my colleagues are thinking of something that would, you know, as well as sell the fashion industry, do the same time work with the environment. As in, we almost every day throw clothes, if not throw them directly, turn them into rags and then later on discard them in our, you know, garbages, and that would really have impact on the soil, as in depriving plants from having their actual nutrients necessary for their growth.
In concluding, they believe that ethical fashion is based on sustainability. This means prioritizing environmentally friendly practices throughout and making products that has a low impact on the environment. For News Review, I am Ati Senghor.
Very well, that is all from me today. Thank you for being there. We'll be back next week. Until then, goodbye.